What is going on, everybody? Showing up the King here, and I'm here to bring you my review for Bleach Chapter 529. Alright, just like I said in the Naruto chapter, this Bleach chapter is actually pretty straightforward. I'm going to run over the overview really quickly. I'm going to give you my thoughts, and that's going to be pretty much it this week because, again, we are in a flashback mode, so we're just basically getting some more information on Ichigo and his Quincy background. So the chapter starts off with, actually, it doesn't even start off with Ichigo talking to Ishin, his dad. We actually are started off with Matsumoto and her luscious top area. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. So basically, what we find out in this chapter is that Ichigo's dad was a captain. He was not a Zero Squad division leader, as some people actually thought, including myself. But he was actually the first captain of, I won't say first, but he was the captain of Squad 10 before Hitsugaya Toshiro took over. And essentially, he had two-third seats. He had Hitsugaya and he had Matsumoto. And we all know how that ended up with Matsumoto being underneath Toshiro as he became the squad captain of Squad 10. Um, the only other situation was with this chapter. Essentially, we get a little bit of background on Ichigo's dad. He was a slacker. He kind of didn't want to work. He always wanted to put off his work on Toshiro, who was basically working on his Bankai. We also learned that Toshiro was working on his Bankai, looking to improve it or master it, as he said. So he would be closer to becoming captain. Again, we all know he ended up becoming captain, but just in general, we find out that much, a little bit more about Ichigo's dad. We also learned that there had been some disturbances going on, and the reports have been showing that people have been dying. So, of course, Ishin goes out and to investigate, leaving behind Matsumoto and Toshiro. The only other really big thing about this chapter that we learn is that Aizen, we find out that this scenario that's going on happens right after the turn back the pendulum arc that we got, where we got the backstory on the holification and things of that nature. So the only thing that's really bothering me, and again, I'm going to need your guys' help on this because I cannot remember to save my life. Uh, During the turn back the pendulum, I don't know if they showed all of the squad leaders at that time, and was there a squad leader for 10, or was that person missing? Because I could have sworn that there was a moment where they had a meeting with all of the squad captains of the 13 Court Guard squad, and at that point in time, I could have sworn there was a captain in place of Squad 10, and it wasn't Ichigo's dad. Because now finding out that his dad was the captain of Squad 10, it brings up a couple of questions like, why is it that Hitsugaya never mentioned it? Why is it that Matsumoto never mentioned it? Or, why didn't anyone mention it to Ichigo? Now, again, those are potential plot holes, but again, it looks like Kubo did a good job of covering those tracks, because if you think back to the whole battle with Aizen, they never actually showed Matsumoto and Ishin in the same area, Ichigo's dad in the same area. Same thing goes with Toshiro, because by the time Ichigo's dad got to the battlefield, both Toshiro and Hitsugaya, both him and Matsumoto were down. And yeah, I think it's Matsumoto. I might be messing their name up. Don't quote me on those names, but I'm thinking it is Matsumoto. It is Matsumoto because the other one is Momo. But anyway, we get it from them that they're both already down, defeated by Aizen by the time Ichigo's dad gets on the battlefield. So I guess that would explain away why he didn't recognize them, because he wasn't around when everyone was battling. Overall, like I said, the chapter was good. It is moving a little slow for me. I'm ready for them to pick it up a little bit, because I would have thought we got a little bit more information on Ichigo's dad and his mom being a Quincy, because that's kind of how the last chapter left us. But I guess what they're doing is they're backtracking and giving us the full story. Now, what I expect to come from this is we're gonna figure out why Ichigo's dad had to leave the 13 Court Guard squads. I'm assuming because he started meddling with the Quincy, Ichigo's mom, and I'm thinking that that was forbidden. Shinigami and Quincy together, and we also figure out that Ichigo's dad's last name is Sato, and they didn't give Ichigo his last name; they gave him his mother's last name. So I'd actually like to figure out exactly why they named him Kurosaki instead of Sato. Maybe again, I don't know. Maybe in Japanese culture, you take the woman's last name. I don't know. So or maybe it was again to protect him, or again, maybe it's another plot hole. Who the hell knows? So I'm looking forward to figuring that out as well. And I definitely want to figure out the situation with Aizen and again, I'm going to need your guys' help on that because again, the chapter ends with Aizen talking to Tosin and Gin about trying to figure out where Hirako and the rest of his group is because we already know that they were hidden after they were all attacked at that night and they got the hostification, and we'll probably get some more information on that as well. So I like where things are going. I definitely needed to move along a little bit, but overall, like I said, I didn't have an issue with the chapter at all. It's good to see Ichigo's dad more because again, he was one of my favorite characters once we actually found out that he was a Shinigami. So I'd like to see how strong he really is and maybe what his Bankai is. Fingers crossed. But let me know what you guys think. Comment in the section below. Definitely let me know about that turn back the pendulum thing if you remember. Subscribe, you know the deal. Show off the king, the one and only. Have a good day.